For over 20 years, Glendale Community College has offered coursework in video production technology. Graduates of this program are successfully employed throughout the industry and can be found working in fields such as Paradise Valley Community College, Cox Communications, Banner Health Hospital, and the Arizona Department of Health Services. Today, the VPT program is part of a new digital arts program at GCC, where students are exposed to video, animation, and design. This show is a showcase of their collected works. Glendale Community College presents The Journeyman. Welcome to The Journeyman. I'm your host, Connor Blake. For the next half hour, our students will tell their stories about life on campus, the making of a student film, the Valley's indie music and BMX scene, and finally, life after school, or one student's look at what lies ahead in her chosen field. But first, we begin with a look at life on GCC main campus, or specifically, what happens before students even reach campus. With a student population close to 20,000 students, GCC is one of the largest providers of post-secondary education in the Valley's west side. Being a commuter campus, GCC students face the challenge of a daily commute and parking on campus. Matt Manfredi, Jason Lim, Chad Stover, Colby Jackson, and Mark Streets take a close-up look at this situation in their video, No Parking.
If you're a student at Glendale Community College, you've most likely at one point or another had to struggle with finding a reasonable parking space. During the more busy times on campus, finding a parking spot can be a pain, and even put you at risk of being late to class. However, is this really the problem with the parking lots themselves, or poor time management by the students? We interviewed various students and staff members about if they think the parking situation at GCC needs changing and in what ways. We started by asking students how much extra time they assume is needed to find a space in order to get to their class in time.
I usually show up about an hour to hour and a half earlier than I need to.
Probably like 10 minutes.
Well, I have a 10 o'clock class here on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I'm usually here by 7 in the morning though.
Some have suggestions on what could be done to help students struggling with their parking.
Honestly, I think I've always thought this, that there should be more signs, like stop signs for people, because sometimes people can't get out and you have to wait forever, and then there's a bunch of people that won't let you in.
I mean, if they could add more parking, that obviously would be ideal. I mean, I know there's some fields over to the side of the school and everything like that. I don't know if that's zoned for parking lots, but I mean, being able to add more parking lots would definitely be nice, because I mean, it's kind of a pain, especially when you're parked all the way back there by the park, having to kind of haul butt to get to class is kind of a pain.
We asked Deborah Pollack, Director of College Safety at GCC, if she thought the parking situation needed improvement. She replied, "If by that you're saying that additional parking spaces need to be added, I would say yes." She also said those would only be needed for the first few weeks of class. After those first weeks, she says, finding parking becomes much easier. She added that at certain times you'll see students circling in the south parking lots looking for a space, when in fact 65% of GCC's parking is in the north parking lot. She said there are complaints from both students and staff, the biggest from students being that they can't find a space close to their class, and the biggest from staff being that students have parked in their spaces.
I have to show up 15 minutes to find a parking spot.
You might drive around a couple rows and then you might get a good spot right up in front, you know what I mean? But that doesn't happen all the time.
About 15-20 minutes. So usually I leave, I usually get here on campus, I'd say probably about between 7:30, and my classes aren't till about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
When asked about citations written for parking violations to students, she told us the majority are for unauthorized use of handicap spaces, not only for parking without a placard, but for using a placard belonging to somebody else. We asked Deborah if she had any ideas on how to improve the parking situation. She recommended moving some of GCC's classes to the afternoon, when things seem less busy on campus and finding parking is rarely an issue. On a scale from 1 to 10, how frustrating is it, on average, for you to find a parking space?
Well, the level of frustration, I mean, that really kind of ranges depending on how far you're out there. So I would probably say on average, it's probably about a good solid 8, 8.5, definitely.
Level of frustration, maybe a 1, because I have morning classes, so I don't really get frustrated in the morning.
Probably a 6 or a 7, I would say so.
Well, I don't really get as frustrated anymore. At the beginning, I used to get frustrated.
Frustration, probably 10, because I like to be early. I don't like being late for class. I like my education. I want to be here early.
It's not overwhelmingly frustrating, but it's frustrating.
According to Public Relations Office at GCC, there are 21,376 students enrolled as of fall 2011. There are currently 4,402 parking spaces available to students. By 2016, they hope to increase this number to about 5,000.
If I'm just getting here right before class, I'll settle, because obviously I don't have the time just to drive around and hope for a parking spot. I mean, that kind of goes into with, getting here a lot earlier than I need to. But yeah, it really just kind of depends on what I'm feeling like in the morning, if I want to get here an hour or two early to get a decent spot, or just wait and hustle.
If I'm lucky, I'll find a good parking spot. If it's really close to letting classes out, then there's a bunch of people going in their cars, and that I have a higher chance of getting a good spot then. But if I'm early, I just anticipate parking in the back.
Wake up earlier.
With the increase of student enrollment every year, the parking situation will become more problematic.
Joining me in the studio now are Jason Lim, Mark Streets, Chad Stover, and Colby Jackson. Question time, guys. How did the shooting go? Were there any special challenges you had to overcome?
There were definitely lots of challenges, to be honest. 8 days of the entire month, we had to run across campus, run across the parking lot, try to find students who actually want to be interviewed, and actually ask them to be interviewed. They did not want to do it, to be honest.
Man, that sounds exhausting. How did you guys come up with this concept?
Well, the day of, when we had to choose what kind of subjects we want to talk about, I was coming really late into school because I was driving around for like 15 to 20 minutes around the park looking for a parking spot, and I really didn't want to park at the park itself. So as I got in and everybody was sitting down, was already sitting down and their classes already started because I came in really late, her teacher asked us, like, hey, what subjects you want to do? So I just blurted it out because I really didn't like the parking.
Very nice personal experience. Did you guys learn anything about the difficulties of finding parking on GCC campus?
Yes, one of the main ones was actually a lot of students who have a hard time parking have a long commute. So a lot of times that a student will have to wake up, say, like 2 hours in advance and leave like an hour and 30 minutes ahead of time, just to find a good parking spot at the same time, be able to make it to class on time.
Sounds like a really long commute. How did you guys gather information from faculty members?
Well, we kind of went in order. The first person we got in contact with was Jeff Glemba over in the Student Union. Mm-hmm. After we got information from him, he referred us to Trisha Vogel over at Public Relations. For the final piece of information we needed, we got in contact with Deb Pollock over at Campus Safety. So it was information pipeline. They got back to us in orderly fashion. Everything worked itself out the way it needed to.
Very good. That's nice to know. Ever wonder what goes through the process of an imagination coming to life? What it would be like to hear firsthand from those who make an enjoyable short film? Video production is a creative but also tough business. It takes a lot of work to write a script, create audio, and direct even a short film. Yet these students will tell you that they love what they are doing and will keep on striving to improve their talents. Here, we journey into the creative minds and the ambitious visions of another group of video production students. This is the making of the short film, Story of a Girl.
You got 8 days now, Robert. Have you found someone yet?
Yeah, I found someone. I don't even know your name.
It's Claire.
Sorry, my name's Robert. I'm studying for an audio engineering for a degree. I've hit a snag while making my demo CD for a class.
My mom used to sing to me when I was young.
You're perfect.
I'm not sure.
I've been seeing her since I first met her.
But why don't you go and find her then? You got free time after all. You can't do any recording while you're in the booth without her, right?
Alright, so let's take it from the top.
Don't worry about that. Just walk right into the TV studio and we'll take it from there.
I've been working as a grip. I've learned how to handle all of the different equipment, the lights, the camera, learning different aspects of what is required to put together any film, whether it's a documentary or a student short film.
Being an actor, or struggling actor I guess, considering I've never acted before, it's really a new experience. It's really a different thing to know how to do, what to do. It's really interesting.
It was nice to see all the little aspects that go into creating a short film. It actually made him fun and easy to work with. And I also have no experience, so it kind of took off some of the pressure.
So the process of making a student short film is pretty much the same as making a Hollywood movie even. You know, you still have to follow the same rules. You gotta get the talent together, you gotta write the script. The only differences I've noticed is that you're probably gonna have a more amateur script than in Hollywood, and that your talent is generally gonna be yourself, your friends, or amateur actors that you've met at college. Other than that, it's pretty much all the same.
Here with me are Adam Lane, Luis Hudobro, Vicente Benitez, and Kyle Grant. How did you guys come up with the name Story of a Girl?
Loved just music and movies in general and how they could intertwine, and if I ever would hear a good song, I'd start picturing it as a film, like how the story of the song would play out. And pretty much, you know, one morning I was listening and I heard Three Eye Blind's Story of a Girl, and I thought of it as a film, and then I went and wrote a script for it. So other than that, that's how it went by.
Very nice. I'm the same way. When I hear music, I like to think of a movie or a music video. Did you guys come across any challenges documenting the making of a short film while making that short film?
I think the greatest challenge that we had was actually scheduling conflicts, and we had a lot of last-minute cancellations. You know, people not showing up, but you know, and it was difficult, you know, getting timing down for, you know, to work on one project while we were actually working on another project as well. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I mean, stuff like that happens, so you just kind of got to roll with the punches.
Absolutely. So, how long does it take an average short film like Story of a Girl to edit?
It's kind of difficult to give an accurate estimate of how long it's going to take to edit, depending on how much film, how long it's going to be, how much material you want, how many cameras you use and such. But generally, like a 5 to 6 minute short film, you might have like an hour or two of footage, just extra footage that you don't use or that you might want. And so generally it might take like up to a week or two to edit, something like that.
Wow, a week for a 6 minute short film? Mm-hmm. Man, that's a long time. I don't know if I'd have the patience for that.
Just imagine a feature film.
Speaking of feature films, how does the cinematography from a short film differ from a feature film?
Well, it differs a lot to the sense where short films, you have a little bit, you can work with it, you can have a lot of footage at one time, and you can condense it down. With feature films, it takes more time, more effort, it's just a lot more in-depth than what a short film would be. But as you can see, like a lot of short films are better than feature films sometimes, so it just depends on the quality and the...
Okay. Where can viewers watch the finished version of Story of a Girl?
They can watch it on YouTube at youtube.com/BeckinTV, our little production channel there.
Okay. I would like to thank you guys for being here today. It was a pleasure sitting down with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Phoenix is quickly becoming a true hotbed for musicians of all backgrounds. With diverse styles, distinct sounds, and numerous up-and-coming artists making their mark on the local music scene, one local production company has come into the spotlight to showcase the talents of these local acts. Outside the music scene, one of the Valley's best-kept secrets surfaces thanks to our next group. With an interview from the Valley's #1 BMXer and a behind-the-scenes look at the making of a music video, we present The Scoop.
Hi, I'm Christopher Cummings. I am a current student at Glendale Community College. Warhead is a 4-piece band from Chandler, Arizona, consisting of 4 dedicated young musicians. We had the opportunity to bring them into the video studio here at GCC for a music video. Here's a look behind the scenes. Our next guest has been racing BMX bikes for 15 years. He loves the thrill behind the race. Please welcome Roy Jaeger.
My name's Roy Jaeger. I'm 26 years old. I started riding BMX when I was 11. We're at Black Mountain BMX right now. This is my home track. This is where it all started. This is where I've met quite a few of the people that I know in my life. It's gotten me jobs, careers, all sorts of stuff. One of my friends from school raced, him and his brother raced, and I started coming out to the track, checking it out with them. It was something I got real interested in. Kind of stuck. This bike that I'm riding right here, this is an older standard 125R model. It's a race frame. This particular setup I've got here, it's a heavier setup. It's more like a dirt jumping park bike. Kind of a race influence. Obviously, I'm out at the racetrack. I ride this one on Wednesday nights for practice only. I don't run the clip-in pedals that a lot of people are running on this one. Only ride those on my race bikes. This one I basically use for training. It's like I've got kind of a handicap like a golfer would have, so to say, I guess. This bike's heavier than my usual 20-inch that I ride normally for races, and it just helps me with training. My training is pretty much just coming out here and riding my bike. Like I said, I ride this one on Wednesday nights for practice, and that's pretty much all I do for training. Other than that, I just ride my bike a lot. I don't think I'd like to go pro again. I've been pro before. Pro racing for me wasn't really, I don't know, it was something I wasn't really that serious about. I did it just to do it. I like the fun of just racing amateur, just doing it for competition.
I would like to thank the guys from Warhead, as well as D&L Promotions, Al Harbison, and Roy Jaeger for coming on the show. This has been The Scoop on the Journeyman.
Chris Steffen, Doug Page, Travis Sunderland, and Christopher Cummings, thank you for joining me. What are some of the challenges of successfully making a music video and shooting a band playing live?
Well, the first challenge was doing the live production. You know, we had the multiple camera shots of the band on stage, and it was like trying not to get the other cameraman in the shot of your shot. You know, he was on this side, he was on this side, and not trying to communicate with each other at the same time of shooting that video.
Just trying to have that perfect in sync,
right, because you want to
get those angles.
Get shots of the instruments themselves with the band member playing the instrument, and you wanted to do the close-ups, wide shots. You know, it was fun, but at the same time, it was difficult.
And what can the future expect from Evil Arts Film Studio?
In the future, we've got a feature film actually shooting this June called Massacre Trail. We've also got a couple comedy series that we're wanting to come out with, as well as a lot more music videos from local and national acts.
Very nice, very nice. Sounds exciting. How has a college such as GCC helped you in the video production field?
Well, it seems today everyone is making YouTube videos and going to other video websites to make videos. A college like GCC allows you to fine-tune your skills in script writing, editing, and just fine-tuning your shots, as well as gaining knowledge from the professors that work here at GCC.
Very nice, very nice. And in terms of Evil Arts Film Studio, do you plan on continuing to use the Scoop?
We would like to. We have a couple other shows that we were trying to put together, but that's just a longer version of one of the other shows that we have put together right now. We're trying to make it more diverse.
Well, I want to thank you guys for sitting down and joining me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next and final segment gives us proof that nothing comes without hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. From the mouths of our successor to the eyes and ears of our scholars, here is the field of dreams in filmmaking.
When we read every inspiring message from great successful people, do we really know what it means? We gotta work it out, and give those the definitions from our failures. In my situation, I never liked any message that I never experiment in my own life. And when I do, I will always carry those messages with me as a key to success. I not only carry them, I use them for living.
In fact, now more than ever, the opportunity to have a career in the movies, such as a director, producer, cinematographer, camera operator, lighting, audio, sound, and actor, has never been more of a challenge. Most people, including myself going to college, are expecting to find a way to break into film. Still, there are some top questions we want answers to. How do I break into the film industry? What can I expect going to college and my life experiences to achieve my goal? Is going to college really worth it? Does having a college degree guarantee you a job? Let's meet some successful filmmakers, faculty members, and college students and see what they have to say and learn from their experiences trying to break into the film industry.
A degree is not going to guarantee any of that.
It's all about attitude.
It's about passion.
Technical perspective.
Creative person as far as imagination goes.
A little bit of innate ability too.
Be able to go out and convert their visions into reality.
Be able to sell a product, to sell a story.
Be able to take an audience or a viewer on a trip.
It takes a good, strong work ethic.
But also socially.
And you've got to love it.
As a fire. There's something burning inside of them to learn this craft, to master this craft.
And yeah, you might go to the best film school on the planet and come back the next day and be flipping burgers.
You've got to want to do it.
So it's all about the person and what they want to do and be. And if you really want to be in film, you'll find a way in.
Is college worth it? Absolutely.
The degree is not going to hurt anybody.
It's kind of your entree.
The competition is fierce out there. Everybody's getting college degrees, and if you don't get a college degree, it's a deficit for you.
You have a piece of paper that verifies you know what you're talking about.
Some people might think it's silly to have that, but the competition is so fierce, you absolutely have to have it. It is a help.
A degree opens doors. It won't get you in the door, but it will open the door.
And it just tells me something about their character. They're willing to go to school. School is not always fun. You've got to put in the work. You're willing to do that, then you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that film project up and going.
But college is another excellent stepping stone for people to learn more about themselves, to learn more about life, and learn more about how the world works.
But no, not all students get it. Some think they're going to skate through. They think that it's going to be easy. and fun, and they're going to be famous, and they're going to make a lot of money. The simple fact is, it's hard work.
Most people probably go in and say, I'm going to be a famous filmmaker and I've got the passion, but I'm going to do it for money. And I think that's where they crash and burn. I think you do it and it's a life experience and a life journey. And you do it because you love doing it like you love breathing to stay alive.
To get that degree, you have demonstrated you're willing, you're trying, you're working at it. Once you can get in the door, now you get the chance to show what you are able and capable of doing.
With me from the field of dreams of filmmaking is Chris Rossett-Busby, CC, and Ramzan Mushi to answer a few questions. What was the experience working on this film?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, working with a group that knows a little bit about film, you know, it's an experience to all of us, you know. You get to, your help is unbelievable, and the interviews we got are awesome. I mean, our experience, when you're having fun all the way, you know, and I mean, you learn a lot.
Very nice. So you had a really good team to work with.
Yeah.
Very nice. And on the regards of the interviews, was it difficult gathering the interviews from all the different teachers?
It is. We not just only interview only professor in this program. We also try to find the successful filmmaker out there, and it takes time to travel to set up the appointment with them, because we all have their own job. So just to get the time consuming and to get the crew to go with us, I don't know, it's just like hard, you know, like to make like 10-minute film. Is not just like 10 minutes you spend there and then shoot, but we spend like, you know, an hour, like, you know, like Chris said, we spent almost like 1 week to get this interview done.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
But it definitely showed in this great film. And what is the best advice that you guys can give students at the VPT program that you didn't cover in the video?
I like to say teamwork makes the dream work. If you got a tight team, you got a tight ship, you should be getting where you got to go fast, you know what I mean? It's, camaraderie of different energies, you know what I mean? Some people won't work good together, and some people, is like you say, flow like water, you know?
Very nice. All right, well, that's actually all the time that we have, but I want to thank you again, Chris Rossett-Busby, CC, and Ramzan Mushi. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the future of Glendale Community College students. They have brought to you the work that they have put in, and it doesn't stop there. Their time, dedication, hard work, and drive will continue to live on through the video production program. I'm your host, Connor Blake, and this has been Journeyman. Until next time, let's see how far you've journeyed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the GCC VPT 206 directing class. Congratulations, you guys. Congratulations. Good job, good job. Very nice. Shaking hands. Good job. Can I get a handshake from you, sir? Thank you. Great job, you guys. Good job. Kyle, nice working with you. I enjoyed that. Is that where we say, that's a wrap? Does anybody know Cowabunga? Can we do a Cowabunga?